Hey there, welcome back and well done for completing the conversation you started last week. Don't forget to share this with one person you know would benefit from hearing this. Also, always feel free to contact us at info@thegoldengooseinstitute.com. Right, without further ado, here's the second part of last week's podcast.
So, out of curiosity, how can we start this journey of saying, okay, now I can control my subconscious? Where does one even begin?
Your subconscious has a ton of neurons. The number of neurons in your brain is 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 11. So that is the number 10 written with 2 zeros at the end, 11 times. That is a ton of neurons. And those neurons are recording everything in your life. From the day you were born up until now, it has recorded everything that you have experienced. Even from your birth, through deep hypnosis, you are actually able, I actually didn't know this, I actually recently found that out, that through deep hypnosis, you can actually recall the day you were born, the room you were in, the how the doctor looked, everything. It's actually still recorded in your subconscious mind. That's how powerful your mind is. It records everything. And that's what we call programming. And in order for you to control your subconscious and to make a change in your subconscious, which will eventually lead into a change in behavior, because like I said, that's where we hold all our behavior, all our patterns, all our habits, you need to reprogram your mind. The brain is elastic. For many, many years, scientists always thought that the brain was hard-coded and you can't actually change the brain. But only now, recently, in 1990, scientists actually discovered that the brain is plastic and that it can actually be rewired, it can be remolded. Your thoughts can be reprogrammed, basically. So it's about reprogramming your mind. I'm also I'm a certified neuro-linguistic programmer, programming practitioner. And basically what that is, neuro-linguistic, it's your that neurology within your brain. Linguistic is, speaking through language, programming. So through neuro-linguistic programming, I can help you to reprogram your mind and reprogram your subconscious, reprogram your behaviors, your beliefs, all of those limiting beliefs or old conditioning that you had in order to make a change in your life. Because we have all of us, even myself, I had a lot of limiting beliefs because of the experiences that I've had, which my subconscious has now recorded as truth, which in actual fact, if you go to another person across the world, they might not see, even though we're living in the same world, they might not see my limiting belief as a limiting belief. For them, they don't even have that limiting belief. They believe, hey, I can achieve X, Y, Z. But whereas for me here in South Africa, I'll be like, no, I can't achieve this because of, X, Y, Z. And that's all because of how we were conditioned, how we were raised, and how our subconscious believes to be true and what is capable for us to achieve. So it's an exercise of having someone, a certified neuro-linguistic programmer or a life coach or someone that can actually help you to reprogram your subconscious mind. And, there's a couple of sessions that you can do with your coach or with the practitioner to help you to reprogram that mind. And if I can just sum it up in like 3 words, you've learned, now you need to unlearn and then relearn. Okay. So that's basically how you master your subconscious.
Okay. All right. And can you give us an example of, let's say, one limiting belief that you had, and through this specific process, you were able to circumvent that and have a different belief as a whole?
Okay. Sure.
We want more.
Where do I
the
even
audience
start?
wants more.
Where do I start? I feel like, as a woman, you have so many limiting beliefs already on just basically on looks. I think I can even start on that one. I had such a limiting belief that I just didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel, as beautiful as other women. I felt that, I'm not as pretty as the other Instagram ladies, and I just wasn't getting, that many likes on Instagram and on Facebook. And I was just like, wow, why am I not like beautiful and light in complexion? And, no one is actually going to love me. People don't think I'm beautiful. And I actually had to reprogram that, because the problem is that, through media and social media and through TV, we were conditioned to believe that beauty is a certain way. Normally it's a a Eurocentric way, actually, where you have to be light in complexion, you have to be skinny, you have to be slender. And that limited my belief on what beauty is. And I didn't see the beauty in myself. So I had to completely reprogram my mind, reprogram what beauty is, realizing that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes, in all different complexions, in all different types of forms. And once I actually reprogrammed my mind to see that, I actually realized, I was like, wow, damn, girl. Now when I look in the mirror, I'm like, whoa, girl, even, I might not have like a six-pack stomach or anything, but I am still beautiful, flaws and all. I am still amazing. So that was a limiting belief. And yeah, now I feel so good about myself all the time.
I completely love that. There's a show that I'm watching right now called Losers. It's on Netflix. And it's very interesting. It talks about people that have lost in life, but then made it big in the end. And one of those individuals was a ballerina called Surya. Not a ballerina, sorry, an ice skater called Surya. She joined a sport that was predominantly white. So there were certain things that was expected of her when she's on the ring, when she's on the ice rink, to obviously achieve. You have some grace, have some elegance, blah, 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 blah. Over like maybe a 10-year span, if I'm not mistaken, she only got silver, and she was really good. I mean, there were certain things that she would do maybe 6-7 times and then add something else, and she'd get second place. And then the person that would be in first place would do those things maybe 3 times, and they'll get first place. And she was like, okay, this is really about looks at the end of the day. And what really inspired me about her story was that she got to the point where she was now teaching a group of children how to ice skate in Harlem. They've got an ice skating rink there. And one of the things that she told them was that, guys, you cannot pin your hopes and your dreams on a medal. Because if you never get that medal, it then destroys the rest of your life. And I think that for me, when I hear your conversation and I hear that of hers, one of her beliefs, I believe, at a point in time was she needed to get that gold medal because it meant something to her. And it would have obviously been that whole, I finally got my gold medal, this is what it means for me. And I think her not achieving that at the end, when she gave that message to those group of ladies around her, just highlighted the point of that belief that I had then had caused this much pain. And now I've realized that it shouldn't have been about the medal to begin with. I mean, after her stunt with the Olympics, she went into professional ice skating, right? And she actually did a phenomenal job. One of her tricks was to do a backflip. Now, in the Olympics, that's forbidden. She was the only person that was able to do that. Within the whole professional, when she was actually being paid as a pro to do it, everybody loved it. Everybody waited for her to do it, and it all came down to that whole thing of I was waiting for a medal, when in actuality, I should have been waiting for myself. So that whole belief thing that you're putting across, I believe, is really profound, because you really got to realize that there are like some serious limiting beliefs that actually do not allow us to go forward, and swapping those with beliefs that actually begin to grow somebody to that direction is imperative. So thanks. My subconscious reminded me of that specific show that I watched yesterday. And it's
so true. That's so true on beliefs, because your beliefs create your reality. And it's whenever I coach people on that, it's like a wow type of moment for them, because nothing has changed in my life, right? After I believed that, now that I'm beautiful, or like, with the ice skater, like, when she stopped believing that I needed that medal in order for me to be great, like nothing changed. It didn't like automatically get her that gold medal, Yeah. She still had the same life, but now she was happier with herself. She felt more fulfilled with herself, even though she didn't have that medal. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not that beauty pageant. I'm not Miss SA, nothing has changed about that. But now what I believe about myself has now made my life even better. Like I said, when I wake up, I'm smiling. I'm more confident. I'm like, wow, actually, life is great. I am amazing. Yeah. Whereas before, when I was like, oh, but I'm not that beautiful. I don't look like those other girls. I felt so down. I felt depressed whenever I woke up. And I just had to change what I believed, and it just does so much on fulfillment and happiness in your life. Like I told you initially, that people are living half-lived lives or even quarter-lived lives because they're just depressed. They're sad, they wake up, they just do the same routine. And it's all about just changing what you believe to be true about your life. And that it does so much difference for, your reality and how you feel about yourself, your emotions. I coach a lot about emotions and stuff, and I always implore my clients to have positive emotions, and just simple things like just changing what you believe to be true can just up your emotions drastically. It's actually, it's amazing.
I hear you. I totally hear you. The next piece of this conversation is just about taking what we have said before and putting it into a certain framework. And that framework I call the 5 rings of insight in my first book, When the Golden Goose Doesn't Lay Eggs, Lessons on Fulfilling Your Potential. And what these questions do is they just allow somebody to start from ground zero and start building themselves up. So we want to take this mastering our subconscious and start putting it into that framework so that somebody out there goes, okay, great. So this is what I need to do to get to A, B, or C. So the first question that we ask ourselves, which I believe you've answered very articulately, ma'am, is what do I want? And that's you saying that I want some sort of change, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, mental, relationship-wise, or financial. You just realize that there's more that you can achieve and you want to now finally go out and get it. Then we go to, obviously, why do I want it? And you'd have your particular reasons as to why it is that you actually want that specific thing. But now let's talk about how. How are we going to get it? And this is now through your subconscious. Now, you've mentioned that obviously you'd speak to coaches. That's one way of definitely doing it, or someone who's certified as a neuro-linguistic programmer. For somebody who might not, for now, be able to afford something of that nature, how else would they be able to start programming their mind right now?
Good question. Valid point. True. Not everyone can afford the coaching lessons or sessions with the NLP practitioner. So reading is one of the really, really, really amazing ways of reprogramming your subconscious. Because, like I said, it's just 3 words, to summarize how to change your subconscious is you've learned, now you need to unlearn and then relearn. So now you've learned, that's already your conditioning. That's how your subconscious is now, presently. Now it's about unlearning. That's that process you can already start by yourself. Start reading books, start watching documentaries, start watching or learning of the change that you want to make, that end goal, whether it's financial, you want to make more money, read more about how to make money. If it's about, relationships, read more and learn more about, how to cultivate healthy relationships. If it's about, you want to transform your body physically, learn more, watch more YouTube videos on how to get that amazing body, proper workouts, and that's that unlearning. And once you start reading more and watching more YouTube videos, for example, listen to more podcasts like this amazing one, that's when you actually start to it actually clicks, it starts clicking in your head. You get these so many aha moments. You're like, what? But when I grew up, I was always taught that there's not enough money. And then once you start reading more, you actually get to see that there's an abundance of money in the world. Like and that's the unlearning process, unlearning all those old conditionings. And then as you start learning more and reading more, that's when you start learning. That's the relearn. Now that's when you start relearning the new proper empowering beliefs. So you've unlearned your limiting beliefs, and now you're relearning empowering beliefs, knowing that there is enough money, knowing how to eat healthy, how to exercise properly and effectively to get that amazing physique that you desire, relearning how to be in a mutual, beneficial, loving relationship with whether it's your spouse, your girlfriend, your siblings, your parents, anything, literally anything in your life that you're not satisfied with. It's because you have a limiting belief that's holding you back from actually making that specific element or aspect in your life great. And I just want to tell you and everyone that's listening that it's possible for everything in your life to be great.
And do you believe that there's an element of patience that would also entail? Because most of us want to watch one video and say, oh, I'm there now. I'm so there now.
That's true. I worry about, I always tell people I worry about this current generation, because they are the generation of instant gratification. It's actually quite scary. I was watching a video, when was it? I was on Thursday night. Simon Sinek.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him. Do you know him?
Yes, I do.
Yes, yeah. He was being interviewed, he was speaking to South Africa, and he said something so powerful. He's like, millennials now, they want to change people's lives immediately, and they don't realize that it's a process to change people's lives. And I was like, that is so, so true. We just want to do things now I want to be famous now. I just want to, eat one carrot and have that dream body now. And,